So hey guys, it's your PlanTito Earl and today, papakita ko sa inyo kung paano ko pinot yung recently ko nakuha na uprooted Anthurium plants. Live plants tong mga to. I'm going to show you yung tatlong different growing medium that I put them in. One is in water, this one right here. One is in soil, this one right here. And one is in Leca, this one right here. So let's get it started. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the PlanTito Earl channel where we talk anything and everything about plants. And of course, I'm your PlanTito Earl. And today, ang gagawin natin, kasi medyo maraming ganap na nangyayari sa harapan ko. As you can see, we are going to do some potting. So today we're going to pot these Anthurium in 3 different growing media. And before you get there, again, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to my channel. It would really help out. If you like this video, only if you do like it, please hit the like button. Hit the bell for notifications. And if you have comments, questions, suggestions on things that you want me to do in the future, let me know in the comment section below. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on social media. I have Facebook and Instagram. So let's start. Now, I'll just introduce you to the plants that we will be dealing with today. These are Anthurium. Now, these are the types of Anturium na when you think of Anthurium, ito yung lalabas sa utak mo. Kasi nga, siguro kasi sila yung mas common dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So, when you think of Anturium, you think of these kinds of things. Yung may magagandang flowers, tapos medyo malalapad yung leaves. Pero mas kilala sila for their flowers. Kasi very, I want to say, ubiquitous tong type of Anthurium na to. It's very common. Makikita mo sila sa mga wreath, sa mga yung mga grand opening, mga ganyan, or give them as gifts as a bouquet, or minsan mga wreath na pampatay. Makikita mo sila. Madalas yung white. So what I got was the red and the, I think this is lavender or lilac type. But they're the same. I think they're Anthurium andraenum. So we're going to pot them in 3 different growing media. The first one will be water. So, basically, nakasubmerge lang siya sa water. Essentially, it's this one. So, I'm gonna take it out just to show you how to do it. I'm gonna put this in this glass bottle. Then the next one, we're gonna pot it in soil. We're gonna put it in this pot. And lastly, kasi siya yung medyo mas, I don't wanna say tedious, but siya yung mas maraming pinagdaanan so far na processes, is in Leca. I'm gonna put it in this mason jar. It's going to be this Anturium. Mamaya hugutin ko to just to show you how to do it. Si Leca or lightweight. Oh my god, I forgot to do this. I forgot to research this. Leca actually stands for something lightweight something clay aggregate. I'm just gonna put it here sa description. Or it's also more commonly known as hyrdorton. I'm going to talk about it more later on. So let's start with the water propagation. So let's start. Get a glass bottle that fits your plant and the roots that it comes with, and then basically papaslak mo lang siya. The approach that you want to take with all of when you're doing some potting is always be firm but gentle. Firm so that you can get things where they should be, but gentle to make sure na hindi mo matadamage yung plant mo, especially the roots. Kasi itong mga to, I got them uprooted na and super. Tingnan nyo yung roots, lahat sila ganyan, makakapal yung roots niya. So I'm fairly confident na magsusurvive sila. So now for the water propagation, or it's not a water propagation, for the water medium, basically lalagay mo lang siya sa tubig. Nakasubmerge lang siya sa tubig, but we're gonna do a little more sa tubig later on. Mamaya ako mag-water kasi may hindi naman kakaiba. May additional processes pa siya involved. So again, be firm but gentle. Pasok mo yung roots in the bottle. Make sure na papasok sila but at the same time, you're not breaking it. And there it is. Tapos na. Well, we're almost done with it. So we're gonna put this aside. This is the easiest one to do. Next, we're going to do soil. But before that, mag-coffee muna ako kasi morning pa and hindi pa ako tapos magkape to shoot this vlog. So very easy. Mamaya, I'll show you how, ano yung type of water na ilalagay natin dito. Kasi may mga ilalagay tayo ng mga special ingredients to make sure that they grow up to be better plants. Or that they thrive and that they survive in its new home. Next, we're going to take this pot. We're going to do the soil. Before that, always, safety reminder, always wear gloves when you're dealing with soil. Kasi, syempre, you never know where your soil came from or ano yung mga elements na napunta sa kanya. You have to protect your hands, especially when you're dealing with soil. That's why, wear gloves. So, we're gonna start with our pot. Wait, tabi mo natin si pot. We're just gonna do our mix. Now, I have a potting mix. I'm using a potting mix that I made myself. And it's a mix of garden soil, so that has loam and all that. My rice husks, my perlite, my pumice, and cocoa chunks, which we're going to use. But for this, dadagdagan ko rin siya ng konting cocoa peat because Anthuriums prefer moist soil or prefer na mas moist yung soil nila. So we're just going to get some of that there. I'm going to have this mixing bowl. Dadagdagan ko pa ito ng cocoa chunks. And the cocoa chunks help to provide better drainage but also provide additional moisture. So these are my cocoa chunks. Adobo cuts sila. These also I treated na. I dried them up and then I drenched them. I drenched them with hydrogen peroxide solution. Then I dried them up para lang iwas molds. So I'm gonna add that. And then I'm also going to add cocoa peat just to add a little bit more moisture to the soil. Proportions dyan, I listed down here. How much of each we're going to add. So, di pa ka na nagbe-bake, gumagawa ka na ng batter mo or ng mixture mo. So just mix it around. Okay. So that should be fine. It's well mixed na. Get your pot. And then, ito kasi medyo malaki yung drainage hole niya. Kasya yung finger ko. So, lalagyan ko lang to ng cocoa chunk dito just to make sure na hindi bubuhos yung soil natin when we put it. So, as in, maliit lang na cocoa chunk. Like that. Lagay ko lang siya dyan. Para hindi bumuhos. But still provide enough drainage for it. Then, we're just gonna fill it up. About 1/3 of the way. Then, we're going to add our other Anthurium. I'm going to put these two guys, paghaluin ko si Lilac and si Red. Yeah, just line it down there. Kasi I'm also trying to hybridize or crossbreed my Anthuriums. I already collected pollen from my Anthurium crystallinum or magnificum. I'm not really sure what they are. Up until this day, after about more than a month of having them, I still can't identify ko alin yung magnificum, alin yung crystallinum. Anyway, I collected the pollen. So once this inflorescence right here matures, I'm going to pollinate it with the crystallinum pollen. Hopefully, magkaroon siya ng babies just like this one. Again, firm but gentle, just so that you can get everything in place. Then, budbud mo na yung soil. Anyways, we're gonna add more soil. Wala. Ano nga ba sinasabi ko? It's messy. Okay, that's enough. Grasp it. Firm but gentle again, para lang tumayo sila. And when you want to make it more compact, push it from the side, wag sa gitna, para you lessen the damage or the chances of damaging the roots on your plant. And also, give it a nice tap. Ganun tap para medyo mag-even out yung soil. Okay na siya. Matay na siya. So that's good. We're going to water this later. I'm gonna show you how or paano gagawin yun. So that's it. So this is our Anthurium that's in soil. So that's good to go. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention pala. These guys, since uprooted sila, when I got them, I treated them first with hydrogen peroxide solution just so that to make sure na, yun nga, sanitize din yung roots. So I dipped them there for about 10 minutes. It's just a tablespoon, yung proportions niya is a tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide in 1 liter of water. Tapos binabad ko yung roots doon to get rid of the root rot and kung anumang mga impurities that it has. So lastly, we're going to do our Leca. This one. So, I have a mason jar. Ilabas ko lang ulit. I have a mason jar here. This is where we're going to put our Leca. So si Leca, again, I forgot the E, but it actually stands for something. It's lightweight something clay aggregate. You can look it up on Google to know more about it. So, but basically, it's a very viable type of potting medium. It comes in different sizes. May iba na super liit, and then there are some just like this na mukhang pebbles. If you can see, mukha siyang mukha siyang Maltesers, yung candy. See, it's really hard. It's really firm. It's going to be a semi-hydro setup. I find that Leca is really effective as a growing medium. In some cases, not all cases. I started with putting pothos in them. Syempre, it was my first time. I was still trying to experiment. about more than a month ago. But the pothos are doing really well now. And how I can say na effective siya is this peace lily right here. I'll get them. It's in Leca. I put it in Leca last week and it's doing really well. How do I say na it's effective? These peace lily, I got it more than a week ago. At first, it was really struggling. Hindi ko magets anong kailangan niya, anong gusto niya. Dinidiligan ko siya, super lupay-pay ng leaves niya. Hindi naman siya nag-yellow or anything. Super lupay-pay lang siya. Nilabas ko siya. Hindi ko muna diniligan kasi I'm afraid of overwatering kasi I have that tendency. Nilabas ko siya para mas maaraw. Lupay-pay pa rin yung leaves niya. Diniligan ko, medyo naging alive siya. So I kind of figured it's just a really thirsty plant. So I thought, why not put it in Leca where it's sitting in water but you minimize the chances of overwatering. So that's what I did. And now, it's super perky. Tingnan mo. Super perky niya. As in, it's all perked up. The thing with Leca though is, one thing about it I find na it's not really helpful with is using it as a rooting medium or propagation medium. I tried propagating some philodendron cuttings sa kanya. May aerial roots pero wala pa siyang new roots coming up. The thing that happened was, it died eventually. Then the same thing happened with some of my unrooted pothos. Diniretso ko lang sila doon. Didn't survive. Hindi ko ma-figure out din paano. If you know why, let me know in the comment section below. Pero it's not a good rooting medium. But as a growing medium, pag fully established na yung plant mo that you're gonna transfer in it, you will have no problems with it. So that's really great. So that's why we're using Leca. So what I did with this, I got it from the bag and then I cleaned it. Now the cleaning process, ito yung medyo mas tedious, I must say. Yung potting natin, super dali niya lang. So I rinsed it and washed it. To get rid of the excess dust. Kasi syempre, during transport, if they collide with each other, they're firm naman, but there are chances pa rin na magpaproduce sila ng dust and you don't want that. So I rinsed it and then I soaked it in hydrogen peroxide solution for about 10 minutes. And then I boiled them in water for about 10 minutes also. Then rinse and then dry. Actually, pwede naman siya na diretso nyo na medyo moist pa. But just make sure na it's cooled down. So, ito sila. That's what we're going to do today. So, we're going to put some of these in the mason jar. Now, when I check other YouTube videos, there are some na nagbubutas sila sa jar. I think that's more of a maintenance thing to make it easier to maintain. Kasi maintaining this is actually very easy. You just have to top up the water and that's it. And every month or so, replace mo lang yung water. You just have to drain it out and then top it up. And yun lang siya. So, para lang to make sure na wala siyang lumot, ganyan, because there might be tendencies na ganyan, or fresh pa rin yung water. So, yun. So, what we're going to do is fill it up about a third. Buti ito may markers to. About a third, kasi that's where your base is going to be. So, yan. That's about 1/3. Pasok nyo na ulit yung roots. Again, firm and gentle approach. Pasok nyo siya. Make sure not to damage the roots, but make sure all of the roots are inside. So, ganun siya. And then, we're gonna fill up the gaps with the rest of the Leca. So, buhos na lang siya dyan. I love working with it kasi ang bilis niyang kunin. So, just give it a tap para lang makapasok yung the rest of the Leca down there. Kasi kakapitan to ng roots mo eventually once it's starting to establish itself. So yun, so just fill it up all the way to the top, mga ganyan. It's firm enough na. See, if you shake it, it's okay. Then give it a nice tap para lang bumaba yung iba. And that's it. That's as easy as it goes. It's a preparation na medyo mas tedious and mas tricky, but potting it is quite easy. So yeah, now we have water here in this big bowl. We're going to do a solution, a different type of solution for the soil, for the one in soil, and a different type of solution for water and Leca. I have a half a gallon of water here, and then we're gonna use this one for all three. This is one of my favorite, as in recent discovery ko lang to. This is one of my favorite plant tools to help me out. This is Anaa. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, medyo blurry na yung ano niya. And this is really good This is DC naphthalene acetic acid. Basically, it's a rooting hormone. Also, it helps in this case, transplanting shock. And I'm just going to follow the dosage. We're doing transplanting. So it says here 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. So this is half a gallon of water. So we're going to use 1 tablespoon, or sorry, half a tablespoon of this solution. We're just gonna put it there. Make sure not to overdose because this is highly concentrated chemicals, and if you have too much of this guy, it may harm your plants more than it may benefit them. So just add them there. And that's it. Anyway, so we're just gonna mix the solution. Make sure it's well incorporated. Medyo greenish yung kulay ng water. Okay, lagay nyo ng catcher sa ilalim para lang hindi magkalat, hindi magputik. So we're going to drench it. Now, in this case, kasi mabigat pa siya, kumuha lang tasa to make it easier to water it. Then you're just gonna drench your soil with it. Kasi this really helps in preventing shock, transplant shock as it's called. You have to drench it. So we're done with our soil. With the 1 year soil. So, basa na siya. It's already starting to drain. As you can see and you can hear. So just let it drain. Medyo matagal tong process na to, but you have to do it. Next is for our water. For our water-based propagation. Now, we're going to have another addition to this. I got this from Lazada. This is NutriHydro. It's a pair of solutions. Complete plant nutrient concentrate for hydroponics and potted plants. Now, that's why I didn't use it for the one in soil. Kasi I found, I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong with it, na medyo nag-yellow yung leaves whenever I water using these on soil-based plants. But in Leca and in water, they're really effective. Kasi nga, water and Leca are essentially blank slates. So you have to add some added nutrition. And this fulfills that one. So we're going to add this. Instructions nito is 20 ml of solution A and 20 ml of solution B for every 10 liters of water. Since I've already used up half a gallon, which is about 2.3 liters. So this is about 2 liters. So, oh my god, math. We're going to add about 5 ml. So 5 ml is about 1 teaspoon each. And you're gonna add it there. Oops. Okay. 1 teaspoon of solution B. Always follow dosage kasi it's really important that you do. I'm gonna mix it again just to incorporate everything. It sounds so relaxing doing this. Can you hear it? It's like a river. Then just put it there. For the water solution, just add it until you reach the base of the plant, yung wala ng roots. Kasi if you add it all the way to the top, pag masyado siyang lubog in water, maging siya, mag-rot yung ibang leaves. Ito, may new leaf coming out if you can see. So, water level should be just about root level. Yeah. Next, for our Leca. Now, for the Leca, kind of the same principles apply. That's why I also recommended na kailangan clear bottle siya, or it would be best to have it in a clear bottle so that you can see what level, hanggang what level mo lalagyan ng solution mo. So it should be just around here in this case kasi we're at the base of the roots. So we're going to do the same. Just going to add it. Oh, it's a wider mouth. So add it there. So yun, you can already see it's starting to fill up. Okay, this is enough. So there. That's for the water part. I'll show it to you much closer. There we go. Kita niyo yung roots niya. Sobrang kapal. And then the water level is just slightly above the roots or where the roots are. So ganun. So that's the water level that you want it to be in. So there, that basically finishes off our Anthurium potting session for today. I potted my Anthurium in 3 different media. We have one in soil, which I'll show you. This guy right here. Ta-da! The one with the pregnant flower. That's the one in soil. Then we did the one in water, directly in the vase. Ta-da! Nice big leaves. I'm gonna have to trim this guy off because it looks sickly. And the one in Leca, which is here, which I just showed you. Ta-da! Look at that flower. It's so beautiful. Especially when you're doing indoors or when you plan on putting your plants indoors. acclimate them outside first or in a brighter, sunnier spot, just so that, you know, they can establish themselves much faster in their new media. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you were able to learn something new about potting. And I'm really hopeful that these 3 will survive, that they will produce more flowers so that I can finally achieve my dream of crossbreeding my other Anthurium with these guys. Intentionally, I got them for the flowers talaga. Kasi Anthurium have perfect flowers, as they're called. Meaning, they start out as female and then become male. So they can, each flower has both male and female reproductive organs. So it'll be easier to breed or crossbreed them. So thank you so much guys for joining me today, and I hope that you learned something new. Tune in again next week for my next video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.